This courtroom hearing starts with a judge taking one look at a plea deal and immediately stopping the entire process. What was supposed to be a routine sentencing suddenly turns into a serious lecture about domestic violence, accountability, and protecting victims. The defendant is only in his early 20s, has 2 young children with the victim, and according to the defense, both sides were already trying to peacefully co-parent after the arrest. But the moment the judge hears one key detail, that the alleged victim was pregnant during the assault, the entire tone of the courtroom changes instantly. Now pay very close attention here because this case becomes less about legal paperwork and more about the judge trying to understand one thing. How does someone claim to love the mother of their children while also putting hands on her during pregnancy? The defendant tries to explain it as emotions getting out of control, but the judge clearly is not buying the excuses. And what makes this hearing even more intense is that the victim herself reportedly requested softer restrictions, yet the judge refuses to go along with it. This is one of those courtroom moments where you can actually see the judge thinking beyond just punishment. She starts talking about children watching toxic relationships, daughters growing up around violence, and how abusive behavior repeats across generations if nobody stops it. And by the end of this hearing, the defendant realizes something very quickly. This judge is not here to make his life comfortable. She's here to make sure he changes before his children grow up believing this behavior is normal.
23 CR 3546, State of Texas versus Larry Casillas. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Couch, thanks to the state of Texas.
Defense?
Elizabeth Russell for Larry Casillas.
Are you Larry Casillas? Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your attorney?
I have reviewed.
I'm sorry, with your client.
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Um,
That appears to be a yes.
That's it. We're proceeding on count 1. Your Honor.
All right, there's only one count in the indictment.
Yes.
All right. Showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with assault of a pregnant person? That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. I'm looking at this plea bargain agreement.
The moment the judge says she refuses to follow the original plea agreement, you can feel the entire courtroom shift. And legally, this is important. A judge is not automatically forced to accept every condition both sides agree on, especially in domestic violence cases involving a pregnant victim. The defense tried to argue that the no harmful contact request was only there to help with custody exchanges and communication about the children. But the judge immediately focuses on safety instead of convenience. And honestly, listen to the frustration in her voice. She keeps coming back to one issue. This wasn't just an argument between adults. According to the allegations, the victim was close to giving birth when the assault happened. That detail completely changes how the court views the danger level. The judge is basically saying, if violence happened during pregnancy once, I'm not risking it happening again. And viewers, this is where family violence cases become complicated. Because sometimes victims request contact again while courts are trying to prevent another dangerous cycle from starting all over.
And there's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Stephanie Ortiz.
That's her by her request, Judge.
I'm
We
not
filed an
following.
app-
I'm not going to follow that.
Even though that's her request.
No, I mean, no, even though it's a request, according to what I'm about to receive, he is a person who is hitting on, not in a loving manner, a pregnant person. I mean, was she pregnant at the time?
Yes, Your Honor.
So if, you know,
She's
I-
requesting, and I'm sorry, Judge, may I speak?
sure.
She's requesting it for her convenience. They've been doing custody exchanges for the last almost a year through a third-party person, and it's her request. She reached out to me, filled out an affidavit of non-prosecution and requested that. So
I'm not following that. So if you all want to withdraw your plea now, you can, but I am not doing a no harmful or injurious contact for somebody who's accused, and I haven't read the, the steps yet, who's accused of hitting a pregnant person.
that's fine, Judge. They're no longer in a relationship. The only relationship is for the benefit of their children. He has no interest in communicating with her beyond that.
All right, so I'm not going to follow that. So y'all have a choice. Either you can go to jury trial or either you all can change that part of your plea bargaining agreement.
We're proceeding with the no contact, Judge.
All right, if you all want to change that. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we would just request that you follow the agreement between the state and defense. Mr. Casillas is wanting to move forward in a direction that's appropriate for his children. He understands what went wrong and he wants to take full responsibility for that. And he has had no issues since the arrest on this date, and they have been successfully co-parenting since that time. There was a CPS case, Judge, that was closed out for no finding.
All right, how old are you?
21, Your Honor.
How many children do you have?
2, Your Honor.
What are their ages?
1 year and 6 months.
1 year and what?
1 year and 6 months.
Are you employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you do?
I work at Amazon at facility warehouse.
All right, so why do you keep hitting on Stephanie Ortiz? At one point, I'm assuming you loved her because you have children with her.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why do you keep hitting on her?
It was just me not being in the right state of mind, me letting my feelings get to myself and not just thinking right and thinking straight.
That makes no sense to me.
Your Honor, it was just my fault. I let my feelings get to myself, let her get in my head and
Let what?
let her get in my head, and I just reacted in a wrongful way.
No, but I mean, you're up here hitting someone. Honestly, I don't even know why I should follow this plea, but your attorney is telling me that she's filed a affidavit of non-prosecution. But according to this, she was pregnant and she was going to be induced that day, and you decided to put your hands on her. I don't understand how is she getting in your head that you would be hitting a pregnant woman who's about to deliver your child.
No, Your Honor, well, that day wasn't the day we were supposed to get induced. But I believe the hitting was before that. So it was just the marks that had came about.
But you still hit her while she was pregnant and she was close to her due date. Not that it's appropriate to hit anyone anyway,
No, it's not, Your Honor.
but obviously she was pregnant. And what she's saying in this documentation, I want you to tell you the reason why I'm saying no contact,
Yes, Your Honor.
because what she's saying in this police report is this is not the first time that you've been abusive to her.
This is probably the most powerful moment in the entire hearing. Notice how the judge completely changes direction here. She stops talking about legal paperwork, probation terms, and plea deals, and starts talking about the defendant's daughter. That's intentional. She's trying to force him to think beyond today's courtroom and picture the long-term damage this behavior can create inside a family. And the question she asks hits hard. What if your daughter grows up and ends up with someone exactly like you? Suddenly, the defendant is no longer just hearing about criminal charges. He's being confronted with the possibility that his own actions could shape what his daughter believes love looks like in the future. That's why the judge keeps repeating that children learn behavior from what they see at home. You can also tell the judge doesn't believe anger is the real issue here. She believes control is the issue. Because every time he explains it as emotions or being not in the right state of mind, she pushes back harder. In her eyes, being emotional doesn't excuse putting hands on a pregnant woman. And honestly, this is the moment where the hearing turns into a warning not just for the defendant, but for anyone watching.
And the police took photos and she had bruising and swelling to the eye along with busted vessels in her eye. That's what you did. So the 2 children you have, is this a boy and a girl or 2 boys or 2 girls?
Girl, and
All right. So what's your daughter's name? Sarabella.
she's 1 year and 7 months.
All right. So she's 1 year and 7 months. I guarantee you she knows that you've been abusive to her mom. Do you love your daughter
I love her with all my heart.
with all your heart? Would you do anything for her?
I would, Your Honor.
I used to do CPS cases and parents would tell me I will walk through fire for my children.
Yes, Your Honor.
They would say that because they knew nobody had a fire for them to walk through.
Mhm.
But I believe you when you say you love your daughter.
Yes, Your Honor.
So how would you feel if your daughter became of age and she ends up with somebody like you who hits on her? Would you be okay with that?
I'll be very upset, Your Honor.
And so your daughter is learning what it means to show love is to hit on people, and might makes right.
Your Honor, that's-
You're going to have to change your ways.
yes,
You
Your
are
Honor.
not to have any contact with Stephanie Ortiz. And anybody else you get into a relationship yet, don't let them meet your publicist. Let them meet you and tell them, hey, want to let you know I had this abusive acts in my background,
Yes, ma'am.
because then they can make an informed decision about whether or not they want to date you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with Stephanie Ortiz. There's to be the BIPP course, parenting classes. That can be with rainbows. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. That will be waived once he completes parenting classes. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Positive.
And what are you going to be positive for?
I mean, no, negative, Your Honor.
Negative? Okay. So you haven't used anything.
No, ma'am.
In the end, the judge allows the plea deal to move forward, but only after making major changes to protect the victim and the children involved. The defendant receives 6 years deferred adjudication, strict no-contact conditions, domestic violence intervention classes, parenting courses, community service requirements, drug testing, and long-term supervision. And the biggest takeaway from this hearing is that the judge made it crystal clear. Becoming a parent does not excuse abusive behavior. It creates even more responsibility. This case also highlights something we see again and again inside family courts. Victims may forgive, relationships may continue, but judges still have a duty to focus on safety and future risk, especially when children are involved. The court clearly believed that protecting the family meant creating distance, accountability, and mandatory behavioral change before anything else. And now we want to hear from you. Do you think the judge made the right decision by rejecting part of the plea agreement and ordering strict no-contact conditions? Or should the court have respected the victim's request? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this courtroom breakdown intense, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking courtroom moments and legal breakdowns every week.
I think Amazon drug tests, do
Yes,
they
yes,
not?
yes, Amazon drug test, yes, ma'am.
All right, there's to be regular UAs. I'm going to want field visits one time every 3 months. Proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Yes. All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor, thank you.